camp this week after an 11-day excused absence. But with all the injuries along the offensive line, new head coach Todd Bowles was asked how he thinks Brady will manage. Here's what he said.
It's great to know he's seen everything. You know, the time he spent in the league, he's seen everything. He knows how to get rid of the football. He understands what people are trying to do to him. So, you know, I feel comfortable with that.
Director blitzing for 20 years, right, Todd? I mean,
he's still standing. He's still standing.
I mean, those are the words of someone who used to compete against Tom Brady, right? I think he's got some scars, right? You played with him. How do you think he's going to handle this?
I think Todd Bowles said it right. I mean, he's played for 23 years. I mean, there's nothing he hasn't seen when it comes to a defense. So he'll do a great job adjusting. I mean, teams may play them differently. We don't know. But I remember in 2015, we had a similar situation. We had rookie offensive line playing, and we feel like we had a different set of 5 group of offensive linemen playing every other week. And he still found a way to throw for 4,700 yards, 30-plus touchdowns. So he'll find a way to adjust. He's seen it all. He's dealt with different situations, receivers getting hurt, not having a run game. So he'll find ways to adjust. He'll get the ball out quick. And he has a great amount of weapons on the outside. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, and a talented backfield as well. And I like to pick up a Kyle Rudolph, a reliable tight end. So he'll find a way to get it done.
Yeah, Bowles has consistently said for the last few weeks, like, things that would be a problem with someone else aren't an issue with Tom Brady because of everything he's seen and what he's been through. Kimberly, when you talk to people around this situation, how do you think the Bucs are approaching all the issues that they're having around Tom Brady?
Yeah, Dan, because, I've reached out to people at the Bucs that I know, and I said, this is a lot. Like, it feels like there's always bad news coming out of your building. Somebody's always hurt. And they had to talk me off the ledge. They're like, we are good. We are confident in the roster that we have. Listen, they are very clear, though. We cannot afford to lose anybody else. But when you look at some of the draft picks they've made, especially on the offensive line, they have kids that may not be proven, but there's a reason they're on this roster because they have belief in them. And this is why, guys, this is why you have a Tom Brady. This is why you bring him in. You heard tight end Cameron Brate talk about Brady is an omnipresent being in this building, on this practice field, and when he wasn't here, it was odd. There was just an added level of confidence boost that is entered into the mix when Brady is on the field. Everything feels like it's going to be okay, and that's why you bring him in, because he has seen it all. And Todd, I used to cover Todd. Like, I know he's tried to blitz Brady a bunch of times. Like the guy. This is why he's the greatest of all time, and you expect him to be able to handle whatever is thrown at him.
Tim, do you expect Brady to be able to handle all these issues and come out on top?
I do. And, James, alluded to this earlier. It's not like Brady's entire career he's been, behind, 5 All-Pros in front of him. I feel like there was a stretch in New England where you were constantly searching through the media guide because it was another undrafted free agent that was starting on that Patriots offensive line. And then as the season went along, it was like, hey, there's nothing to see here. Look, maybe Dante Scarnecchia did an amazing job coaching him up, but Tom Brady did an excellent job of getting rid of the football. And I don't think it's really been any different in Tampa, and I don't think it will be any different in Tampa. So I do think there's an element here where we are, maybe, overplaying this in terms of, how worked up, people should be in Tampa. They seem to be okay with it. And truthfully, I'd be more worried about, like, hey, is Chris Godwin going to be able to be healthy the entire year? Because he does
level. He's amazing, how he controls the ball, how he put everybody in place. I've been with a lot of quarterbacks, and I've never seen them carry themselves like Aaron Rodgers.
I'm putting aside for a second the question of what are Patrick's former receivers doing. I mean, I don't know. I thought everybody liked the guy. Harry, do you agree with the assessment of Rodgers versus Mahomes?
I agree, but I don't think it's a whole nother level. I think that was a bit excessive. I do believe that Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback. When we do top 5 quarterbacks, or who is my top quarterback in the National Football League, for me, it is Aaron Rodgers. You talk about a guy who won back-to-back MVPs. He can make every throw from every arm angle. Let me take y'all back to 2014. I happened to be playing for the Atlanta Falcons then. We played the Green Bay Packers in December. The frozen tundra, it was cold. We could barely even feel our hands. But Aaron Rodgers, they aligned Jordy Nelson up in a condensed split, right? And he was going to run a corner post. Our backside corner, I thought, was about to intercept the football, but the trajectory of the football from Aaron Rodgers, as y'all are watching right now, did not allow that corner to intercept that football. And I knew right then, I said, my goodness, A-Rod. But that wasn't the only experience I had. We had the #1 seed in 2010. The Green Bay Packers barely got into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Guess who came to town? Guess who came to Hotlanta? A-Ron. Guess what he did? Beat the hell out of him.
He wasn't done there. That team won the Super Bowl.
I was a believer in A-Rod right then and there.
Yeah. So, well, that team, of course, went on, and Aaron's, we've discussed at length, hasn't had much luck getting back there. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about who's the better quarterback. Tim, do you agree with Sammy Watkins' assessment?
Yeah, I think there's actually evidence to back up what Sammy Watkins is saying, to be honest with you. You just look at the last 4 seasons, Dan. Aaron Rodgers has thrown 136 touchdowns and 15 picks. Like, I don't know if people can really, I hope they do, they grasp like how insane that is. That touchdown to interception ratio, which kind of goes along with what Sammy's talking about in terms of where Aaron is placing the football. Because it's not like Aaron's not aggressive with the football. He most certainly is. Sometimes I think you can argue, before the ball leaves his hands, maybe the ball shouldn't be going where he's trying to throw it. And just kind of for perspective, when you look at it, if you were to look at touchdown to interception ratio for quarterbacks that have thrown for over 4,000 yards in a season, the top 6 touchdown to interception ratios that exist are owned by Aaron Rodgers. So I just think that, like, in terms of the production of what he has done, in terms of throwing touchdowns and not turning it over, which is what quarterbacks, quite honestly, are asked to do, he's been far superior than anyone who has ever played the game.
I guess that's the key thing here, right, James? I mean, it's not an insult to Patrick Mahomes or anyone else to say Aaron Rodgers is the superior player. What do you think?
Yeah, there's no slight to Patrick Mahomes. It just goes to the greatness of Aaron Rodgers. He's a guy who can get rid of the ball in 2 to 3 seconds each and every time. He snapped the football. He's going to get the team in the right looks. And it's just kind of like that aura, that presence of guys like him and Tom Brady. They've been playing the game for so long. When you step into the huddle with them, you better be on your stuff, or else you're not going to be in the huddle with them. And I think that's what Sammy Watkins is talking about. We all know how uber talented Patrick Mahomes is, and he's great within himself. But I think when it comes to guys like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, they're just on a different level. I think it's kind of a mindset thing. Those guys, when they're coming on that field, they're coming to dominate. They know how to manipulate defenses. They just know how to get the job done a little bit differently. Certainly
talking about all-time greatness. Kimberly, I want to go back to my original point. Like, if I'm Mahomes, I'm sitting there going, what are my guys doing here? What do you think?
See, here's the thing. Patrick Mahomes his career is just starting. Aaron Rodgers, it's coming to an end. So I completely am fine saying Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback. No arguments there. But you know what? I need Patrick Mahomes to have some of that Aaron Rodgers attitude, that little chip now, because Tyreek Hill, I don't know why he was talking about me versus Tua. I don't know why Sammy Watkins had to say, oh, he's on a whole nother level than Pat. Like, it's just a bit much now. Like, okay, guys. And I understand they're asked questions and they got answered honestly, but it just seems like a bit much. And I need Patrick Mahomes to have that Brady, Aaron Rodgers chip on their shoulder where they remember every little thing that's said, so that when the season starts, Patrick Mahomes is like, okay, you think my balls don't look as pretty as Tua's? Like let's go. That's what I want to see.
You think Mahomes can use this for fuel? No. Let's go. Let's get past that.
He can.
Yeah.
He can use it as fuel. But here's the thing, though. When you look at a guy like Patrick Mahomes, and before everyone wants to cancel all of us on social media, just understand what we're saying. We know Patrick Mahomes has been phenomenal for the Kansas City Chiefs. But when you look at a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who can manipulate you with his mind, who can dissect any and everything, I think that's where you have the division.